Hey, welcome to the Whiskey Edition. My name is Rob, and tonight I'm going to talk about relationships. Relationships in the whiskey world are a big thing these days, and they have been for a long time, whether it's being able to get bottles at your local store at a reasonable price, getting a call when something comes in, even if it's not at a reasonable price, or a text, or just being in the right place at the right time. But what I'm going to start off with is this end of season, end of summer paper plane cocktail that I put together with a booze and alcohol, a bourbon that will become obvious here in a few minutes. Not going to take a lot of time because I said I talked too much, so I'll try not to do that. I do have the spider plant or whatever that is in the background here, just for my friends who gave it to me. Oh, love that drink. So, real quick, maybe not real quick, but somewhat. Went into a store called Liquor Diane down in Tucson, and somewhere over here I'll put the picture of how they do their business there, and they're part of town. And didn't find anything I needed, didn't need the key, or the cabinets opened up or whatever. And he says, you couldn't find anything? I said, well, I have a lot of stuff, and so I don't really need any more. And what do you got? Because you got to say, what do you got? Just be nice. And he goes, well, I have some stuff back here, and he has a E.H. Taylor in a tube, and I go, barrel proof? And he says, small batch. I'm like, yeah, I've got a couple of those already, thanks, next guy. He goes, I got a Stag. I go, 24A, and they had the plastic thing there still, and I said, he didn't hear me, and I go, well, how much? And I go, 5. I'm like, yeah, it's got to be like 175 or something like that. She rings up, $75. It's an 18. What is this? 65.5%, 131 proof, which makes it an 18. So it's the year they started Stag, not Stag Junior. So it's right after that. $75 all day. I'll take that. Then the next day, I went to Rum Runner in Tucson. Also, they have you'd think they just have rum, but they've got everything, and they've got wine, and they've got a deli. So that's a good place to go. And picked up not only Little Book Chapter 8, The Road, what is that? Path Not Taken. There we go. And their prices are about MSRP, so I picked up that. And then the Little Book, The Infinite, because I won't see this one up here. And if I do, it'll be up here in the Pacific Northwest. And if I do see it, it'll be out of sight, that's for sure. Then today, I'm going to get to the others in a minute. I went to the local fancy steak place that, for a reason that is just baffling me, they sell their bottles, and this is a bottle of full proof. I got a couple of these barrel selects, and so this is a full proof barrel select for the steak place. I guess I could say it, El Gaucho, and they will sell these off in retail. So I picked up a couple of those. I picked up some stuff for my friends. I also picked up a Blanton's Gold. And so, you know, we've had some emails back and forth, my friends and I, with the gal down there, and I'm just shocked every time. And she's very nice, and we don't try to be, I think we are really nice. We have a good rapport with her, and we email back and forth, and she tells us what she has in stock, and we go down and have a salad or whatever. And when my friends are in town, we'll go down and have more than a salad and pick up fine bourbons at a reasonable, still slightly over. But I think the barrel picks, just like their E.H. Taylor small batch barrel pick, it's amazing. It really is. My friend's got another bottle of that. Just the other day, a lot of people have been able to find this pretty easy. I was having a hard time finding it. But I had told my person down the street at the Thriftway that I would buy it from her if she got it. And so she got it, and I bought it from her. Was it a little bit more than I'd seen it at Total Wine, or even I had heard it was at the Costco? I wasn't able to get it at the Costco, so yeah, it was a little more, but that's a relationship I want to keep. She's very nice, she's very helpful, she has my number, and if anything comes up that she think I might like, she usually gives me a text. And I think that's very helpful when you're in the, not the collection the selection, because anything can be opened. So why did I want to do this tonight in this super hot red shirt that's a long sleeve? I wandered into the Total Wine down in the Tukwila area, and the gal there's a bunch of people at the front, and she says, do you want to go in the back and have a bottle signed? And I was like, a bottle of, and by, huh? She goes, oh, and I got his name right because I had to frickin' look it up because I had a hockey guy's name. You'll hear what. Sidney Rice, former Seahawk, is signing Maker's Mark bottles. I'm like, well, why not? So I go back, and he's also signing Jim Beam. So I had him sign a friggin' handle of Beam. You can see his signature on there. And if my tens and tens of followers can tell me what SBC48, because he was number 18 the whole time, and I thought it was an 18, so I don't know what that means. So I gotta figure that out. So a couple of those. 2 bottles of Maker's Mark, because these will make great gifts for Seahawk fans, I think. And I thought, well, that's gonna be great. And just to, you know, I was in the back. There's some pictures here. I just took a quick selfie, and you'll see the room. There was nobody there. I could have stayed there all day, but you know, those guys are, you know, they're signed out by the time I get there. A lot of people came in, they were having other stuff signed. Apparently Sidney Rice owns a winery here in Washington State, so I probably would have bought a bottle of his wine. I like it when, you know, I don't know, really celebrities or pros or whatever they are, when they come out and they're trying to help get their, you know, it's advertising, but I saw, who did I see at a Total Wine in Vegas? The Breaking Bad, Aaron Paul and Cranston were there. The line was super long and I didn't need any tequila, so I think it was tequila. But I think it's kind of cool that they take the time out of their days to do that. This bottle is one that I slammed at the Maker's Mark. And I was telling the gals there about doing that, and going to the winery, going to the Maker's Mark distillery, doing that. I'm going out there in I think May or June, April. I forgot, whenever the Kentucky Derby is. Going to go out right after that, meet some friends. We're going to do a bunch of Bourbon Trail tours while we're there, so maybe get out to the Beam distillery, maybe Maker's Mark again, which would be fine, and just chatting them up, having a good time. What else are you going to do? Make my way to the front, and I got in line behind Sarah with an H. And she, you know, we're chatting about Maker's Mark and what they're doing with the Seahawks and the whole thing. Hers gets rung up. And then before her card is swiped, she looks back and she goes, ring his up too. So those 3 bottles, Beam and 2 Maker's Mark, she picked up for me. And I wanted to get this video out sooner so my 3s and 3s of fans can look at it and go, you know, that's really nice. I'm not saying you can always go into Total Wine and somebody's gonna pick up your tab for your 3 bottles of booze, but just the fact that chatting them up, having a good time, taking some photos with them, because you know, this is, you know, what you really want to be looking at, can really, you know, make your day. And it's not about the budget, you know. I was prepared to buy the bottles when I had them signed, and they're not the highest end bottles, but just the fact that, and I said, no, I'll buy them. That's okay. And she goes, no, I want to buy them for you. And it just really was, it was very nice. So I wore the red shirt for Maker's Mark. I put the Total Wine Private Select in my paper plane, and, you know, just to show them a little gratitude for picking up the bottles for me. I really appreciate that. And I am not saying that this is sponsored by Maker's Mark at all, because I would have had like a sponsor stuff all over me. But just the how nice they were, and in general. And I would have put this in a video eventually anyway, whether she picked them up or not. I just thought that was really nice of her to do that, and for Maker's Mark to pick up those bottles. Come back to Washington anytime. That's it for this segment of the Whiskey Addition. I'm obviously reining it in a little bit, but I think it's only been a few weeks since the last haul video. And I've figured out, here I am talking more than I was going to. I figured out what I'm going to do for the Minic 100 on the other channel, on the Whiskey Edition. So that'll be kind of a combination haul slash rating video, unlike the last debacle that I went through. So cheers, have a great fall, and like, share, subscribe, and pour an extra glass if somebody's coming over. Nobody's coming over tonight, so it's just one paper plane for me. Thanks again.